Hi, I'm Travis Brungart. Welcome back to the Build Show. This week, we're going to install the new Triple Glaze 100 Series window product from Andersen Windows. Check it out. So as you can see, we're on one of our typical residential additions here in Leawood, Kansas. We've got all of our sheathing up, we're taped and prepped. We actually already prepped our window opening. Just a couple notes about that. Obviously, anytime you're prepping for windows, your concern is primarily water. So what Joe did the other day was basically bring the sheathing to the inside. So we oversized our rough opening by 1 inch to accommodate 7/16 at either side. We made these rips, taped across that flange. We did pitch our sill. So this piece of zip that's on this sill actually has 3 shims underneath it to provide a nice 5 to 7 degree pitch outward so that any water that could get past our flashing attempts would want to drain out and not in. And then with that continuity of taping and our sill pan, our flexible flashing tape, up 6 to 8 inches on the side, we're ready to receive that window. Now we will wet set the flange because it's a flanged window that's going to be installed out at our exterior plane. So we'll apply a sealant that's compatible with the window flange at the top and sides. And then we will wet set that window in place. I'll secure it with some screws and then we'll install some flashing tape and be weather tight. Check it out. We're excited that on our site today, we're installing what I believe is the first 100 Series triple glaze product out of production. And as a high performance builder, we're always seeking ways to improve our thermal performance, our durability, our airtightness, and that's what Andersen's given us with this triple glaze product. So this is the 100 Series. So we're still getting that Fibrex composite frame that's twice as strong as a vinyl frame and 700 times more resistant to thermal transfer as aluminum, but we're getting it with 3 panes of glass, which is 1 more chamber of air, which offers that great thermal performance of 0.19 to 0.2 U values, which is really exceptional. So if we're going to install a window, the first thing we've got to do is get our opening prepped. We talked about that a little bit already as far as our sill pan and all the flashing details, but we got to make sure that the window is going to fit. So I always start by checking my opening to make sure that the window is going to fit in the hole. Still got it. We're going to go ahead and drop a couple shims in the corners because when we do get our window into the opening, we want to make sure that it's not sitting on the sill pan. We want a space. We want space for drainage. We want a place that we can put our backer rod and sealant so that we can create that air seal and that back dam. And I like to tape my shims in place before I even start because it's a lot easier when you're setting windows solo to get everything prepped, set it, screw it, and be done. So that's how we're going to get started. All right, so if we're going to set a window, we want to make sure that we're setting it square, level, plumb, all the things that we worry about in construction. We already checked our opening, we know it's going to fit. I'm a big fan of using plastic shims with windows because they won't swell if they get wet. And I like to set them this way because you can adjust this way and not have the back side of your air seal compromised. So this is my preferred method because I can slide them left to right to adjust and get to level very quickly, but they're not interfering with the continuity of my backer rod and caulking that'll be at the inside edge of the window. And once I get it set the way I want, obviously we have to have support under the outside corners of the window. That's the structure of the window. It's critically important that those be supported. It's also critically important that we set it perfectly level. But the other thing I want to point out is I want a drainage path specifically at the corner. I need to have support for the frame at the corner, and I need an opening for any moisture that would get into the opening to find its way out. So with the shims perfectly placed in a level condition, I just want to tape them in place so that they don't move around during the install. That allows this to be a one-person job from the exterior. So I'm just going to take a section of tape that would cover the shims, but not interfere with drainage. And all I need for those shims to do is hold my window up while I secure the nailing flange. So I've kept my corner open, but now these shims aren't going anywhere. And this is just me repeating the procedure on the other side. I'm double checking to make sure I haven't compromised level. We are level and we are ready to set a window.